Okay, today we have a 21 Toyota Venza hybrid limited all-wheel drive in Champaign. Okay, they just did tires on this. They're dated for 2024, but they're measuring out pretty much brand new still. Still gets a little bit of road noise at highway speed because they're still very aggressive. Those tires do great in our area. A lot of people are running these. They have great wear, do well in all the weather, last long. Overall, cars are in really good shape. There's no real damage to like call out. There is some chips and a couple scratches here and there. The front just has some like light rock trips that have been touched up with like spot touched. So kind of see stuff like that. But once you step away, they're gone. And then on the door here, there's just a couple that you can feel with your finger. Champagne's hard to match. So the little bit of spatter is from the tire shine and going down the highway, but really good. Glasses is all good on these. Lights all work really good. It's pretty much LED on hybrids. That's just how Toyota does it. LEDs have less demand, so those lights last longer, but they also are just less load for the car to have to deal with on a hybrid vehicle. Saves the battery from having to kick the engine on so much. Little things that count, right? Wheels are in pretty good shape. They're a little grimy from the weather we've been having. There's a couple little scuffs, little curb rashes, nothing major. Rear bumpers are in really good shape. Undersides and plastics all really good. Yeah, checks out really good. All right, engine bay. So you have your hybrid system, which is technically what drives your vehicle, and then your engine is for power assist, right? So you have your cooling for your battery system, cooling for your engine. Radiator and everything looks really good. Transmission on these guys are service checks. You got to get down in there. Pretty much checked like a diff these days, right? So valve cover, everything's really dry. These little covers on the side are really dry. Sometimes you get these inspection plates that leap. The phasers all look really good. Exhaust and everything looks really nice. It does have an electric rack. And brake fluid looks freaking amazing. 84,000 miles, that brake fluid alone, I would never believe you, right? So that's great. I've seen darker on lower mileage lately. Did a 50,000 mile car earlier and it was pretty dark. Filter's brand new. It's already been through recon, so they've done all of that. Does have a good breather here. No residue or anything, wetness or anything behind there. And then, yeah. Hoses all look really good. Another thing, I always look down in here. So this frame, your seams, sealers all there. All these bolts look like they've never been turned. So these rails haven't been accessed. No one's had to take stuff out of the way to get down to the crash supports. Oh, focus on my camera. There we go. Aprons and everything. Also the factory weld, tack welds in the seam. And then in here, kind of just peel these back and you can see you got the stamp and everything with the VIN still there. So all good, all original. This kind of starts up whenever it wants. I'll show you a little trick. If you just floor it, you can get it to fire up. So just bear with the camera. I'm gonna leave it right here and come right back. See, turns right back on. I try. But that's good. That means that it's not needed, right? That means that you have a healthy battery. That's what people don't understand sometimes. So real healthy, doesn't need the engine to do anything. It's doing its own thing with or without it. I do have the AC running even. So really good engine bay. All right, so we're up at the front. It's running right now to keep itself cool and everything. It'll turn off in a second, but I'll just make sure to be louder. Lots of plastic in the fronts of these. Doesn't look like it's been hanging, sagging down, dragging underneath the vehicle. You can see all the way back. They do that to reduce drag of air underneath, like getting trapped in the car. It's all there. It's all in good shape. It's not beat up or scraped. We're gonna go to each kind of rocker behind the front tires and check that out. So from this angle, we're just looking along this rocker. The pinch weld and everything looks really solid. Lift points aren't bent over, folded or anything. All the skid plates are still in really good shape.
kind of see more of those skid plates. And then that one back there is going to be fuel tanks. We'll go to the back.
Alright, so stock exhaust. This is all-wheel drive. So you have your rear end here. Rear subframe, sorry. And you can see your fuel cell, little resonator. So don't be wrong, that's a resonator for sound resonance, not a cat, okay? They were getting a bunch of those. People were cutting them off thinking they were cats and trying to sell them. It's just a resonator packed full of fiberglass and muffling material. We're gonna go to the other side real fast. My last angle here, oops, sorry, my hand is just doing things it shouldn't. We're looking along the rocker again here. Lift points and everything look really good. Nice and clean. No rust, nothing beat up, no scrapes, nothing exposed. Heat shields all in really good shape, all where they need to be. No rattles or anything, so we'll stop. This checks here. All right, on to the inside here. So I always start at the wheel. They're pretty busy these days. Nothing on the back sides. Phone controls and menu controls here. Your adaptive cruise, lane keep, which also has some assist on the steering. And then radio modes and seek. And then this is how you up and down, cancel, turn on and off. We're at 84,810 at the end of the drive here. Yeah, I do have the parking brake set because it's in park. Car does that by itself. And my seatbelt's not on, car is running. Right now it's just off engine wise. Screen here, you have your climate controls, weather of area, your nav, radio works. Real nice. Data, you can kind of pick whatever you have on the screen here, right? And then you do have a chargeable phone charger pad down there. Parking brake, hold. This is for like hills, if you're like sitting on facing up a hill, and so when you let off the brake it holds the car until you hit the throttle. EV mode, and then you do have a sport and normal. Shifter does have like a sport shift, no paddles. Auto lights with the auto high beam feature, brightness. I'll show you this view here in a second. Heated seats, and then your lift gate. So the view button, when you click that bad boy, it does I have the doors open, so it's kind of crazy right now, but it does a proximity circle view of the car, and then it'll back up and do a Hawkeye view. I remember I have the doors open, so you're seeing your fenders where you normally wouldn't see those fenders. Your doors are just open, so I was looking right at it. And then you just push again, it turns it off. But it basically looks around the car for you. Super cool. All of these are little touch buttons. They all work really well. They don't take a lot of input, so really nice. And then I'm gonna pause here. We're gonna look from the outside in. Standing here at the driver door. Door cards are in really good shape. No tears in the leather, no chips, no scuffs, no scrapes. Seats also really good shape. And then these mats have been in here the whole life. I laughed a little bit when I saw this. I pulled this up. It says Venza in the carpet. Isn't that awesome? Power seats on this, obviously. Power column, so it adjusts all that by power. Door card here again in really good shape. Back seats don't look like they were ever really used. Maybe once or twice, because there's a little bit of marks here. It's just like schmutz, not like damage. And then this has a glass top, but it's like a stained glass, so like you can't really see through, and it kind of really does a good job deflecting the sun. And then there's a full cover that shuts as well, but it doesn't actually open up. It's like a fixated glass. Swapping sides. All right, back on the passenger. Door card again, really good shape. Seat, same deal. There is charger ports down here. Seat backs are really tight and firm still. Leather's in great shape on these. Power seat over here, really good shape. Bolsters are very nice. Wheelbacks has all the info and the Maroni sticker. I'm so bad at saying that, you guys. Don't even judge me on it. Door card's in really good shape here. We'll go ahead and stop. So trunk, cargo area, rear lift gate, truck bed, whatever applies. This is going to be a rear lift gate cargo area, right? So this is power lift gate. I'll show you that feature here in a moment. It does have the privacy cover. Rolls up nice, hooks into place. There's no wrinkles or any kind of crazy tomfoolery from rolling up diagonally. It does have the JBL sound system, so it sounds really good in here. And then under here, you do have a full size spare, which is awesome. You do have your front plate mount. Down here, I do spy, it looks like a trailer wiring kit, which is a bonus. I don't see a hitch under it or anything, but you got the wiring. I'm trying to fight this and hold the camera, but all your tools and everything still in their original slots. This all-weather mat is just doesn't let you lift it very well. You gotta like kind of fold these sides up, and then it'll let you go up that way. That's weird. So on the rear liftgate here, you do have the option to actually lock the entire vehicle. So you grabbed all your stuff. I use this on my Ascent almost daily. You push this, locks the car once everything shuts, and you walk away. Done deal. You don't have to get in there, push any extra buttons or anything. It's relatively quick. It's not like you're in a race for this kind of stuff. Shuts nice, pulls itself in, very quiet. We'll stop right here. Okay, so this here is where we scan all the modules. We just basically do a deep dive and just let it run through everything. All pass. I haven't had this in a very long time, folks. Very long time. I at least get some stored codes or had to jump start it in low voltage. I have not had this in a long time. Down here, we always like to make sure the VIN is what's on the car when you look at the computer. Want to make sure those are matching. Just saves you headache down the line if you have to do emission stuff. We're gonna pause here and move over to monitors and some live data. So monitors here, I always do since they've had the computer cleared, not since I was given it. Okay, there we go. Green checks. Gray circles are not really something to worry about, either redundancies or monitors that are not being used or supported. So basically, like, some of the stuff is redundant, right? So the oxygen sensor heater is also probably going to be able to tell if there's a heated catalyst being monitored, stuff like that, right? So sorry about that. Allergies, one of those type of years, you know. From here, I'm going to switch over to live data. I like to go through our battery cells on hybrids. Alright, while this focuses, I'm going to start it. Okay. Very anticlimactic, but we are running. So basically, this is like how long, based on time, right? Or range, you can run on just the hybrid pack. And then down here, so your voltages in your packs, 238. It was 240 a second ago before I started it, which is really good. This is in kilometers, so don't get confused by that. That's kilometers. And just everything checks out really good. Some of these values will be really low because the actual engine is not running. Right now we're just chilling on the hybrid system. Yeah, oh, there we go. So that just popped on. And you can see all the command increase. Flawless. And delay. Everything goes right up. No high demands. So really good, really good. We'll stop here and just keep pushing through. All right, so we're gonna do our quick conclusion here. I always try to make these look alive, you know, get all the LEDs lit up and stuff, but the sun's just like, hey, you ain't seeing nothing over me. Really nice day out. So this thing drives really good, hybrid system. These have pretty good pickup. It's the same system in like all of their little hybrids, a little 2.5 or little 4-cylinder there. Basically, hybrids are using the electric battery to propel the vehicle. When the vehicle needs more power, it uses the engine to provide that juice, right? So that being said, you're at 85,000 roughly, so I just make sure all the lubricants for the drive system have been done or taken care of, or if they're coming up, they're not missed. Car drives great. All the safety assists and everything work really good. Engine bay is very clean. These are pretty reliable engines. They're low demand, so they just kind of stay at a consistent, like, lower RPM. Usually people do like an annual service on them because they're not having to go through as many hot and cold cycles. One thing I always say about hybrids, these are great. I would prefer these over any EV any day, because you can just use the gasoline engine to provide charge. This is not a plug-in one, so it's not a plug-in hybrid EV, but they do have that option. With these, if you do a lot of short trips, they're perfect for that. But I always recommend to try and give these things like a good drive once a week or every other week to make sure that battery's getting a really good charge. Otherwise those cells will get depleted with time if you just consistently have short trips and they don't get a good recharge. But this is all at 240 in the cells, which is normal. It's what I see on all the Toyota hybrid systems. No codes, no faults, everything's passed. Great little car. Maintenance wise, the only thing I said is, just check lubrications, fluids in the drive system. The rear axle, the transaxle, which is also the transmission, it's all like a unit. Just want to make sure you stay up on those lubricants. Otherwise this thing should be tip top. Iridium plugs, 100K for the spark plugs. Direct injection, make sure you use top tier fuels, and don't well, I mean, the car won't let you leave it idle, so I guess you don't have to worry about carbon buildup from idle. But yeah, great car. We'll stop here. Thanks for the inspection.